What's up, 2025? Number nine. What's up, gang? How y'all doing? So, I want to get into um, this whole thing with Wes Huff on Joe Rogan. He also did a video on himself, right? Critiquing himself, debunking himself, as the video was called, from the mistakes that he made, because he made mistakes in, a few facts as far as, the religion and stuff like that. But it was a lot more to it than that. So we just want to just talk a little bit about that. So basically, Wes Huff, he went on Joe Rogan's show. He talked about a few things, right? And it's like I said, gang, people talking about they were so happy that he supposedly just debunked Billy Carson, but he made a lot of Billy Carson mistakes. And as I said, right, this guy is really worse than Billy Carson because he's not really explaining anything. He's not really giving any clarity as far as any truth is concerned. People just automatically, when a person like him, who's supposed to be educated, when they so-called explain a spiritual concept of what it means, then they just go, oh, okay, yeah, okay. But they don't think like, did he actually explain, himself? Did he actually explain the spiritual concept? So we're going to talk about this, right? So he did a video debunking himself, which was cool. You know what I'm saying? The mistakes that he made, he was very, very, very humble. And, that's great. But I just want to talk about a particular concept, that he basically tried to cut Billy Carson up on, right? Because guess what? A broken clock is right 2 times a day. I'm gonna have the short video in the chat. It's just a 1-minute video. I'm gonna have it in the chat for y'all to look at. This is what I'm critiquing right now. So Billy Carson, right? He had, I guess he was talking about, that the Bible, is basically, the God of the Bible is many gods. And it's not just one God. So Wes Huff goes into it and he says, well, Billy Carson doesn't understand the sacred languages, and I do. But he doesn't really, he pretends like he explains, away the concept of what he's talking about, but he doesn't. So we're going to get right into it, right? So the Hebrew word Elohim. So for those who are as esoterics, right, we understand the word Elohim means powers, right? Different persons of power. Wes Huff says that no, the word Elohim, and the word Elohim, right, firstly, is in Genesis 1:1. So there's a problem with that, right? Because this is the first scripture of the Bible, Genesis, right? So there's no context that we can go to, right? So that's the thing. So there's many different words for God in Hebrew, many different words for God. El and Elohim are one of them. So basically he says, okay, well, the word El is a concretized, abstract plural, okay? So he basically just labels the word that, and he just says, well, it's kind of like sheep, It could be one sheep or 50 sheep, which really doesn't explain anything, right? Because we know basically what he's saying, like the word angel, right? We know angels are different entities, right? It could be one angel, it could be many angels. But he's not explaining the concept of what he just labeled as the concretized, abstract plural. So guess what? Guess what, gang? We're going to just go ahead and just be devil's advocate, right? We're going to have to play devil's advocate, right? And, for those who don't know, devil advocate means you argue both sides. Since he didn't argue his side, I'm going to argue his side for him. So what is he saying as far as Elohim being a concretized abstract plural? What does that mean? So basically he's saying that the word Elohim is like God. It's like almost an extra, the Elohim, right, is extra masculine, but it's also plural because El is, is like the first word of Elohim, right, the beginning. So El is God. Elohim, right, is powers, gods, the powers of gods. But basically, so what he's saying is that Elohim is basically, it's an intensification of the word God. So it's kind of like if I'm describing God, right? So this is just an example. So just saying that Hulk Hogan, right? Hulk Hogan is El, right? Just saying Hulk Hogan is God, right? Then Elohim would be Hulkamania. What you gonna do when Hulkamania runs wild on you, right? So it's putting an intensification on the word God. So it's like an active, super masculine version of God, right? So this is God putting order into chaos, right? The first words of the Bible, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So this is in the beginning, God, right? Or this is Bereshit bara Elohim. So these three words in the first book of the Bible, very significant. So that's what he's saying, right? It's just an intensification of the word God active, just, God super saiyan, you know what I'm saying? God juiced up, about to do some stuff. So, man, look, so like I said, this is a channel of spiritual honesty. So what do you think, gang? To me, if you introducing a book, right? You're introducing something, a concept of a person, right? Abstract of not doing something, creating something, right? Just say like an architect who created a particular city. You want to know, firstly, who's that architect? Is it one architect? Is it two? What's the name of the architects? You see what I'm saying? So to me, that's just logically. You're not going to give the qualities of the architect first, right? In the first three letters, And even though I know this is ancient Hebrew, this is, they talk differently and, they had a different culture, way of life, way of writing. But just out of logic and reason, I'm no expert in Hebrew, but it just doesn't make sense, And with these texts, right, we know that the Bible is political, and we know that monotheism is political. It's easier to control people under one God, right? Which is very unnatural. You know, monotheism is unnatural. It's not the way it's supposed to be. And monotheism, as I said in my last video, is dead. It's over with. There's no more. Monotheism is about to be no more. You know, that control that they had over us, you know, that overwhelming energy of that one energy is dead. Okay. So people about to be free from that, you know. So, yeah, that's the thing, man. We talking about this thing with Wes Huff. Like I said, man, he's not bringing any clarity. And I'm gonna tell you another thing. This shit is, look, he better not say nothing else about Billy Carson. He has to stand on his own feet because it look like he's gonna look like another goofy clout chaser. This shit is over with Billy Carson. Okay, Billy Carson was a fraud and this and that, and he didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. But now it's you. You have to stand on your own 2 feet as far as that, and you can't keep going back and forth on him and using him for clout. You know, you have to, you know, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? And it's not gonna be easy this year, gang. We're in the year of the snake, and Wes Huff might get ate up, and Billy Carson too. He gotta be careful too, because the snake is his enemy year, as far as I saw. You know, he's in the year of the pig, and he has to be very careful because he can lose a whole lot. And I don't know Wes Huff, I don't know his birthday or whatever, but he has to be careful too, because guess what? People coming from him too, you know. Even the Jewish community, they putting their own 2 cents in there. They're like, look, man, we tired of this shit, man. We tired of this shit, because they're saying that Christians always, when they're trying to prove something, they go to, you know, they go to Jewish lore, they go to their traditions, they go to the Hebrew, of course, and, you know, their traditions and their way of life and all this other stuff. You know, Judaism is like a bald-headed stepchild of Christianity. You understand? So, man, but they coming from him. They like, look, we proving all this stuff. Look, all this stuff that you're saying, you know, is cap. You're not proving anything. He even said something crazy to me on the Joe Rogan show. He was talking about St. Peter and how St. Peter was executed upside down on the cross. And for those esoterics, we know that that's cap. That's lore. That's made up lore for people who wanted to use the upside down cross or reverse cross in Satanism. That's lore of Satanism and Luciferianism. You know, people who wanted to, you know, throw down a cross. So they use the St. Peter thing as a excuse. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he's using stuff. He accused Billy Carson of not using real proof and using folklore and things that are not true. And he's doing the exact same thing. But it's the Bible. And then, look, man, ain't nothing he could say. The Bible, even though it's a good book, it has a lot of wisdom, you know what I'm saying? You cannot show one grave where none of these people died. And well, except Jesus maybe, right? But besides Jesus, you can't point to where Moses died or Eliezer or whoever, you know, that says something. So, hey man, I'm just saying, so this whole thing is, you know, people coming from, you know, people tired of the BS, And they going, Christianity is going to get ate up. If you thinking, if Wes Huff acting like he's going to be the humble spokesman for Christianity. And like I said, man, he's just here to keep stuff going. You know what I'm saying? He's just here to keep the machine and keep the fire of Christianity going. He's not here to bring no proof or clarity. You can just tell how they talking, man. But what Christians got to understand, and just period, stop letting these people explain, especially when they explaining spirituality to you. Stop letting these people BS you, acting like they're giving you truth or they're explaining a spiritual concept and they're not. Stop letting these people be spiritually dishonest. Okay, and the thing about spiritual dishonesty and intellectual dishonesty, right, is a lot of times we don't even know that we're being dishonest. It takes self-reflection and objectivity. You see what I'm saying? All right, gang. So that's about it I got to say about that. Talk to you soon.